Hi, I'm Dennis, and welcome to All Scale Slot Cars. This is episode 25 of Slot Cars What Character? And this episode is going to feature Batman and the Batmobile. And if you're not familiar with this series, like I said, this is episode 25 in the series, and it's all on a playlist. And I like to feature slot cars that have been made that are outside the norm of race cars and street cars. They're particular characters and something that might just interest somebody enough to get interested in slot cars. And that's my goal here, is to just expand this hobby. And there are people that love certain aspects about characters and or collectors, and what a great way to get them interested in the slot cars by introducing them into the slot car world by a character they love. And if this character is Batman, then this is fantastic. If you or someone you know and love, or a child that you have in your life loves Batman, what a great way. And if you're not into slot cars yet, what a great way to get introduced to it. Pick up one of these cars, which are not that difficult to find. A little bit of searching, I can help you with it. If you have a question, leave in the comments. I can help you track down one of these cars. A lot of these are relatively easy to find, or just a little patient and one of them will pop up for you and you can purchase and have this around a slot car track of your choice in no time. There's many different brands that have been producing these over the years, and so I'd like to just delve into this. And what a great way to get involved in the slot car hobby and to just really appreciate what has been done over the years. And we have to start with Aurora in the mid to late 60s that produced this Batmobile from the original Batman TV show in the 60s. And that was the first Batmobile that I'm aware of that was pretty much mass produced. And if you were lucky at the time, you were able to see Adam West making an appearance as Batman and signing things. And if you had this slot car at the time, he may have signed this for you or signed the case that it came in, and that would be a true collector's item. And what an experience that must have been for you if you have that. I wasn't lucky enough. I was just a small child when that series was on, but I have an older brother who loved the series, so by way of him watching it, I was watching it all the time, and we were heavily involved in Batman. And I used to make up my own capes and be Robin, and we'd run around the house. So it was a lot of fun. In fact, one time we did go to an appearance of Adam West as Batman. I'm not sure, maybe Burt Ward was there too as Robin, but I know Adam West was. It was in Queens, New York. And my mom had taken my brother and I, and while we were waiting for Batman and the crowd was building up, she gave us some ice cream cones, and so we're eating the ice cream cones. I, of course, had my chocolate ice cream in a cone, and I'm, having my cone, and then all of a sudden, somebody said, "There's Batman!" And all the crowd just surged, and I was this just little child, and my mom was wearing this nice white dress that she had just bought, and I had my chocolate ice cream, and I got so scared. My mom said I wrapped myself around her legs, and that ice cream cone, that chocolate ice cream cone, went all over her nice new white dress. And it was a disaster for her. And as things go, she ran into one of her old friends, and had to have a conversation with this old friend, and while wearing a nice new white dress with a big blotch of chocolate ice cream all running on it. So that's my Batman experience as a child. But I grew to continue to love Batman to this day. And so I'd like to show you what else we have here. Now, Johnny Lightning did a nice Batmobile version. And as you can see, this is the Johnny Lightning version. And they did a nice job because you see the colors in Batman and Robin, whereas in the Aurora version, everything is kind of black. Although I like this one much better. Now, Auto World, also Johnny Lightning, they followed that up more recently with this, which is from the animated series. And you see Batman and Robin there in their animated series, Blue Batmobile. Microscolectric got into the act with this Batmobile and the Gotham City police car, which that Gotham City car, you're getting a sneak preview of that because I'm going to do a follow-up of Slot Cars What Character for friends and foes of Batman. So look forward to those. If you'd like to, like and subscribe to the channel. I usually put out like a video once every week or two, and maybe a couple of shorts once or twice a week. And so I won't flood your YouTube box or whatever you call that. I won't flood your YouTube with a whole bunch of videos and stuff that you have to, keep swiping away from. I'd like to keep it to a minimum. So if you'd like to like and subscribe, just keep an eye out for that coming up. If you like this, the Batman series, there'll be the friends and foes of Batman. And also, if you like this series, just go back and it's all on a playlist, and you can just watch the playlist. It'll just go right through in order of all the other cars I've featured that are outside the norm over the years, and there'll be more to come. So thank you for those of you who are subscribed, and I really appreciate that, and thank you for who watch and comment, and I really appreciate that. It really means a lot to me. But my main interest is to grow the slot car hobby. I want to expand the knowledge of slot cars to as many people as possible, to broaden the range and get slot cars back into the mainstream as much as possible, because it's so wonderful. I love it so much. My love for this is just overflowing to where I want to have as many people I can experience this and experience the joys, especially if you have children. And young children are great at picking up slot cars and really taking to it. We just had my two grandsons over here yesterday, and we had an old friend who is now taking care of her grandson, and so she brought him over here yesterday for the first time, and he's never seen a slot car, and she knew he would love it because he loves cars. And my two grandsons were here, so the three of them were here, and they were playing. My 4-year-old grandson taught this other boy, he's also 4 years old, he taught him how to program a digital slot car, and they were racing on this digital track, and that boy picked this up in no time. I explained to the grandmother, our old friend, and as I was explaining, she had said, you need to dumb it down a little bit, Dennis, because, those terms you're using are too technical, which I didn't think it was too technical. But right after she said that, and my grandson was also explaining, that boy caught on so quickly. So, and she was like, oh my gosh, maybe it went over my head, but it didn't go over his head. He took right to it, and he was racing in no time. And we even had the pit stop functioning, and we had on the screen, we had the fuel gauges, and we taught him that, and he was coming in to take pits. Incredible. 4 years old. Okay, so you're never too young for this stuff. So getting back to Batman and Robin. All right, so now there's a more recent release by the Carrera First series, which is kind of like Carrera Go, but they're battery operated cars. They can also run on a Carrera Go track. They're 1/43rd scale, and I would just take it a little easy. I even have them. You can run them on the Carrera 132nd and 124th track, which is this track right here. You can run it. I would not run them too much, just to take them around for a few laps, maybe not go full speed, because I think they're meant for 6 volts for the battery. And these are like, 14 volts or so. So if you do that, just take them for a little spin, or keep them to the battery track that you probably can purchase these from. and run them on the track. But they made these two very interesting from the Batwheel series, which that's Robin's Redbird and Batman's Bam car. And if you ever watched the Batwheel series, which my grandkids turned me on to, that exists, and we watch that, and now we enjoy that. Whenever they come over, we watch an episode and then go to the slot car room and race some slot cars. So that's a really cool series, and if your kids are into this, or grandkids, or anybody, any child or anybody in your life who loves this stuff, what a great way to add to the Batmobiles that you collect. Mattel got into the Batmobile business. I believe this is in the 90s, and this is from the Gotham City Getaway, I believe, chase set, and it featured him and the Joker mobile. And I have the Joker mobile, which I had said I'm going to feature in that upcoming episode of the Friends and Foes of Batman. But that's Mattel getting into the business of Batman, and they did it another time with this one, and this is from their Monster Jam series, a Mattel car, and that, look forward to, there will be an upcoming episode of those. I have a lot more of those to feature, so stay tuned for more of that. But that's the Batmobile in the Monster Jam series. And Scalextric had their Batmobile they released a couple years ago, and fantastic job on it. The only thing about this was it had just Batman sitting in the seat and no Robin. Some sort of licensing issue about Robin, but fortunately there are some aftermarket people that are magicians, and they made a fantastic Robin figure that you can place in your car, and you can have your set of Batman and Robin in that car, and it's beautiful like that. And those are a little hard to find now, but they do come up, and that would make a wonderful addition to your Batmobile. More recently, Scalextric has just recently released this Michael Keaton 1989 Batmobile, and a fantastic job on it. My grandson was here yesterday, the 4-year-old, and he loved this car. This one he's more familiar with. As much as he always liked to take this one around, when he saw this one, this is what he's familiar with. And he loves this car, and it's got a digital plug in it, so it can run on the Carrera digital track, or you can run it on a Scalextric digital track. There's a lot you could do with this. Tyco has made some very, very interesting slot cars, and most of these are from the mid-90s era. They made 4 versions of the Batmobile, and most of these are the tumblers. This is the first version of it, and then the second version, more of a cream camel kind of deal, and this one is my favorite, the third version here. I absolutely love this one. That is one of the more unique Batmobiles, and I love this one. And that one's a little difficult to find, but it's possible. And there's version 4, and a lot of these were in sets, but with a little soul searching you can find them. And those are the 4 versions. Very nice job that Tyco did. And of course, they did 2 versions of these. We'll get into that, because these are the Friends and Foes of Batman, and the Green Arrow there will be featured in that next episode, upcoming episode. May not be next, but it's upcoming. Let's see, we have this one it was another release 4-gear, recently released 4-gear of the Batmobile by Auto World. Very nice job of it. Then we have this one, which was very similar, but this was the episode where the Penguin stole the Batmobile, and he made it his own there. And he had two of his henchmen working for him, and they were sitting in that passenger seat. And Batman and Robin gave chase when they realized their Batmobile was stolen. And they had apparently there's a built-in ejector seat in the passenger seat, kind of James Bond style. And they were following them, and they pushed on their bikes, on their motorcycles. They pushed the ejector seat, and the two henchmen came flying out of the car and landed on the road, and they were able to track down the Penguin. So that was a fantastic episode, if you remember that from the original series in the 60s. Then, this one is a really special one. This one is from ProTinkerToys.com. And when Brian Young's, who's the owner, his brother Tim, was researching these cars, when he got to the Batmobile, he realized that the first version of the Batmobile was actually red. And even though it was just a basic car, it wasn't this Batmobile. He got to tinkering with it, and he got some paint, and he painted it a rather red color. And that really set off some interest in the red Batmobile. And so I think he did like 4 versions of these, or 4 creations of these. And they sold them as Tim's red Batmobile. And they sold out very fast. And I don't think they were, I think they were kind of crude. He just did it off the cuff and just did it. And but they sold so quickly that Brian Young had this great idea that, hey, we should market the red Batmobile. And that's what they did. They made, I think it was their 4th exclusive. So it was exclusive only to Pro Tinker Toys. And it's an Auto World car. But I think they made about 1,008 of them. And they're pretty much all gone. So if you get your hands on these, this is a fantastic little car, very unique, and always reminds me of Tim, who was fantastic when he was on Pro Tinker Toys live streams. I really miss him being on that because he did a wonderful job. As much as he said he hates slot cars, he doesn't like slot cars at all, but he can drive a slot car, because when they would have their races on Thursday night, he would win a lot of those races. He was the guy to beat, and I think his record was 7 in a row. I don't know if that might have been broken, but not when he was there, because he was a great slot car driver. He just always would say, his line was that he doesn't like slot cars, but he could drive slot cars. But you can thank Tim Young for that. So he did a great job with that, and that's left a little legacy in the Batmobile series. And here's one for this BMW 3.5 CSL. That's just that's a little wink to the BMW fans there who'll know what the story is with that one. We'll just keep it as that. So I think I've covered everything. Yeah, we've got it all. That's Slot Cars What Character, episode 25, the Batmobile and Batman. And if you have a chance, introduce your kids to the Carrera First series. Also, Carrera Go has a Batmobile that is more or less like this, but less of a cartoonish, but more of a regular with the wing in the back, and it's black. And that one is on my radar to collect. I am a collector, and as being a collector, as you know, if you are, it's a never-ending process. You always, keep your mind open and your eyes open for what's out there, and add them in your collection little by little. It's a never-ending process, probably, because it just keeps on going, and you just collect what you enjoy and just really enjoy them. And if the kids want to have fun with them, if they're responsible, let them have at it. Let them know that they have to take care of the cars, and they're not as fragile as they may seem. They're built to be slot cars, so that's their purpose. And I always believe to let them out of their cases, out of their boxes. There's no sense in collecting it in a case and letting it accumulate dust and not having any fun and enjoyment about it. I understand if that's what you do, that's great. Everybody can enjoy it the way they want. But for me, it's like I could keep this one in the case, but I had no need to. The only thing I'm doing is adding to the value of whoever I am leaving my collection to after I pass, because I'm probably never going to sell any of this stuff. So the person I'm leaving it to may not have any interest in it, and they'll get rid of it. It might get thrown away. And here, meanwhile, I've spent my whole life just let it collecting dust in a box and not putting it around the track. So that's just me. That's not what I'm saying everybody should do, but that's just my point of view of it. And there's so many different points you can have. So I'm going to stop rambling. And so if you like this, leave a like, subscribe if you're looking forward to future episodes of Slot Cars What Character. And check out the previous videos in the series and other videos I've done, because it would be great to expand on the hobby and really get people into slot cars. And thank you so much for watching, and have a great day and enjoy.